I think I got a little bit too preachy on that one. I didn't mean to get preachy. And so I'm not going to post that last video that I just made. But, I like to hear people with ideals. If someone actually has an ideal, I think the main point I want to make is there's a difference between insulting people and having an ideal. Sometimes I watch debates and it's very interesting to me to see people who think that a debate is just insulting somebody. Just saying an insulting statement. There are a lot of people, for example, and I see this on either side. Like, I was thinking about this thing where Steve Harvey was talking about people who are atheists. And it's interesting, he has this very negative view. If you don't believe in God, there's something wrong with you. There's this fundamentally wrong issue with you if you don't believe in God. And there are other people who say that, if you believe in God, you're crazy. You're fundamentally crazy, So those things to me aren't really debates. People aren't really making a real point. And sometimes when I read a book, I'll look at a book that'll talk on either side. And if I look at it and the first thing is just nothing but a bunch of insults or pointing out things or making fun of people, that's not anything. I'm somebody who is, I really like real thinkers, people who really think out something, like people like Einstein, people like David Hume, people who actually think out what they have to say and look at the situation, not just people who are hurling a bunch of insults. I guess that's what passes for, some type of intellectual thing. It's just insulting the other people or calling somebody stupid or saying that somebody's ideals are nothing but a bunch of woo-woo, which I think is interesting. And people really think that they're really doing something. They really think they're accomplishing something with that. I will express an ideal, say things, and some of my ideals are silly. I'll look back on it and say, wow, that was really kind of dumb. Or that didn't make sense. Or that doesn't work. Or it seemed like a good idea at the time, but it doesn't work. And that's okay because I'm always going to say things. And some of my ideals just don't quite work. And sometimes they do. The whole point of making videos, though, for me, is just to express ideals. I was looking at a big tub of tapes that I have. Cassette tapes. There's about, in each one of these things, about 500 of these things. I have I'd say about a good 2,000 cassette tapes. So that's more than 2,000 hours of stuff. And some of them go back as far as, I think the oldest one I have, I was just listening to one that was 24 years ago. So I've been doing this for years, talking out ideals. So I work out my ideals a lot. And I love to do that. And I like to share ideals with other people. And people who come to me and share ideals, that's great. But people who just feel like they want to hurl an insult, no matter how much they try to hide it behind a nice little intellectual facade, I can pick that out in a minute. I can pick out people who are trying to be insulting from people who are sharing genuine ideals with me. You can tell right away in an instant. It's just something you learn, I guess, from practice, from working with ideals, working with people, talking to people who actually have real ideals, reading people who have real ideals, instead of people just insulting you and telling you you're stupid. I don't think anybody wants that. I don't have any time or room for people like that.